Yes, you read the title correctly. Or the thumbnail. I don't know yet because I haven't, put it all together. Yes, I got up at 4:30 in the morning for this one, okay, maybe two reasons. What's up, my people? Welcome back. So very glad you're here. Hope that wherever you are today watching this video, that you are having an amazing day. It is unbelievably beautiful this morning. Like this kind of weather in Texas, I don't know if you know my state very well. This is not normal. It is cool, breezy, partly cloudy. Like it's just a gorgeous day. It was the perfect morning for what we're going to talk about today. Before we do that, as always, like and subscribe, push all the buttons, do the algorithm things, because it helps grow this channel. And you know what? Makes me feel good, and I appreciate that. So please, like and subscribe, do the things. And today's video is brought to you by biting insects. Man, they are all over the place, and I am standing in shin deep grass, which you can't see because I'm not recording it, but I am standing in very tall grass to make this video because it's worth it. But I guarantee you I'm gonna have bug bites all over my ankles and legs, and that's fine because you're worth it. Anyways, man, today's video is probably not going to be very long, but I want to talk about why on earth would I get up at 4:30 in the morning to come out to the middle of nowhere, well, kind of the middle of nowhere, to do this one thing. And I don't know, I might wax eloquent for a minute about that reason, but that's what I want to talk about today, because this is a topic that I really care about, and it's especially for all of my Christian artists, makers, creatives out there, because there is still, I believe, still a myth in the world that if you're a Christian and you want to make art, then you have to make Jesus specific, lighthouse at the ocean with scripture at the top. You got to make that kind of art. And I want to be clear, that is not true. Is it good? Absolutely. If you feel called to paint the cross on the hill, if you feel called to paint pictures of Jesus or whatever the thing is, and I say this as an iconographer, man, like my vocation, my occupation is to make religious, sacred art. But I want to be so clear, that is not the only kind of art that brings the Lord joy. So I got up at 4:30 this morning because one of the deacons in our parish has this retreat center wildlife place. And it is nature to the brim. It is glorious. It is beautiful. There's an ant on my foot. Shoot. It is amazing. The train agrees. It is amazing out here. And I remember the first time I came out here, I drove past his old barn. And the thought occurred in my brain, not because I put it there, but because I think for creatives, the Spirit of the Lord moves in our creativity to guide us in directions to create art that celebrates the goodness of God. That is what we should be doing with our artwork. Celebrating, commemorating, rejoicing in the goodness of God. And sometimes, yes, you will have a dark night of the soul. Yes, sometimes you will need to make art that reflects the reality of the difficulties of the human experience. And that is just as good and important. However, I came out this morning to celebrate the goodness of God. So I'm out here for the first time, and I saw this old barn, and I thought, man, that is just one of the types of things. Swallow. Hello, swallow. That might be a barn swallow. That is one of the types of things that I love to paint. And I bet if framed well and caught at the perfect lighting moment, that we can make a painting out of that would be just gorgeous. And I don't even fully know yet what all I am trying to say in that particular piece of art. But I drove past and I thought, I have to make a painting of that. So I connected with our deacon, said, hey man, I'd love to come out pretty early to catch the morning light, you know, the beautiful blue light, the blue hour, as photographers call it. And I just want to sit out on your property and photograph and paint and spend time with the Lord and do those things. And that's why I got up at 4:30 in the morning, because I wanted to be out surrounded by all of this beauty. Like, look at this. It's freaking amazing, man. So I got up super early so I could put myself together, grab all my gear, sit out in the back of my pickup, photograph a barn, and spend time with the Lord. And that's what I did this morning. Man, and it was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. Because God has given us this incredible, beautiful earth. And He fills it with incredible, beautiful things. And that, if you make paintings about little tiny dandelions, or beautiful pine trees, or barns, or whatever the thing is, whatever stirs your heart, that's of God. And you making art about a barn, or a tree, or a frog, or whatever your thing is, you making that art glorifies God. And that is what we need in the world right now. Now, I was listening to Jonathan Pajot yesterday in a lecture talking about AI and art and why we should be making art. And it was awesome, man. I think I might even link that in the description below, because if you're an artist, that lecture, which is long and worth it, making beautiful things is part of the human experience. And the last thing we need to do is relegate that to some piece of machinery that has no soul. Because God gave us our creative spirit, and we should be using it to glorify God by making beautiful things. And yes, as I said before, we will have times where we need to make some pretty, difficult art to wrestle with. Go to my website, look at the Faith of Watercolor page. You'll see some weird stuff in there. You'll see some dark stuff in there. I have sat in the dark and made art. Shoot, there's another ant. I have sat in the dark and wrestled with that. And yes, it's good to make art about that, but that shouldn't be the only thing we make. As creatives, as artists, we should be making art that brings God joy when we celebrate Him in the things that we're making. So yeah, I got up at 4:30 this morning, and it was worth every single minute of sleep that I sacrificed. I got to sit in the back of my truck, which in and of itself was a gift from the Lord. And I watched the sun come up, and it was so nourishing. It was such an interesting experience because the sun came up and there was just enough cloud cover and just enough haze that you could actually see the orb glowing fiery reddish orange, and it rose over the trees, and it was freaking amazing. And then I got to read scripture, drink my coffee, do my morning rituals, and then I sat, busted out my travel watercolor set, got out my little travel watercolor book, and I painted an old barn. And it was freaking great. And later, I'm going to take these photographs, play with them a little bit, and I'm going to take those and turn them into even bigger, more beautiful, more beautiful watercolor paintings, because God is meant to be celebrated, because in His goodness and love for us, He gave us all of this beautiful, amazing nature, landscape, life. So if you're an artist and you're a creative and you're wondering sometimes, like, what is the point of all of this creativity and making, and should I be making, paintings or specifically about scripture or Jesus or whatever? No, man. Get out there, paint the things that bring you alive. Paint the things that bring you to life. Because in doing that, you co-create with God. and you make the world more beautiful. And that could be as simple as painting a picture of the little scissor tail that just flew by. So whatever it is that brings you to life, if you're an artist, you're a creative, you're a songwriter, you're a photographer, whatever it is, whatever that creative outlet that God has given you, make beautiful things and celebrate God's goodness. And share that with the world. Like, we don't need your stuff to be shoved into a box in some storeroom somewhere. Put it on Instagram, put it on the internet, but share it with your family and friends. Do something with it so that the beauty that you created encourages the spirits of others. Your art matters. What you make has so many birds out here. What you make matters. It matters because God put it in your heart to make it. And that's awesome. So go do that. Turn this off, get off the internet, go outside, paint a picture, write a song, write a poem, take a photograph, make a sculpture, whatever the thing is. Go do that. And then share it with others so that they too can be encouraged by how you see the beauty that God has surrounded us with. We need more of that in the world. Lots and lots more of that in the world. And that's all I have for you today. I hope if you're an artist, you're encouraged. Pick up a paintbrush, get some music sheets, do something, and enjoy the beauty of the world around you. Until I see you next time, keep climbing.